Hello, my name is Robert Thompson. I'm with IGEL Technologies of America. And in today's how-to, we will be addressing removing all start menu items using a Microsoft GPO. This applies on IGEL's Windows Embedded Standard devices. In this example, we have a Windows Embedded Standard device that is connected to a domain that is logged in with a basic domain user account. Currently under the Start menu, we have the Control Panel, the Run command, and All programs. We will be creating a group policy object to effectively remove these upon login. This session is intended for network administrators or any other user that has knowledge of Active Directory and creating group policies and managing group policies. Okay, as we get started, we will first go down to Start and we will select Group Policy Management, and we will drill down to the group policy objects. Here we will need to create the group policy object in which we want to apply the changes to remove the items out of the Start menu. So I'm going to right click on Group Policy Objects and select New. We will name this new GPO Removing Start Menu Items. Select OK. And as you see, it will populate the group policy objects with the newly created object that we will be working with. We are now ready to begin editing the settings for our newly created policy. So we're going to go down to our created GPO, right click, select edit, and the policy that we will be creating will be a user-based configuration. So we're going to expand the policy tab, and under the administrative tab or administrative templates, we are first going to make a setting under the control panel. The one setting that we need here will be to prohibit access to the control panel. So if we double click on that, we can enable that, and that will take the control panel out of the Start menu. Let's go ahead and select Apply. Hit OK. Our remaining settings will be coming from the Start menu tab itself. So if we close this, you'll see under the policy, the Start menu and taskbar. We will click this, and I'm going to go ahead and sort by name. We will need to enable Remote All Programs List from the Start menu, which is this one here. Go ahead and select Enable and Apply. Hit OK. We're going to also remove the Common Programs group from the Start menu, which is this one here. Enable, Apply, OK. We're also going to remove the Frequent Programs list from the Start menu. Enable, Apply. We also want to remove the Programs from the Settings menu. Again, enable and apply. And for our final setting, we want to remove the Run menu from the Start menu. Edit and apply. We can hit OK. Okay, I'm going to now sort by state, which should show us everything that we just configured. We do have 5 or so that we configured from the Start menu and taskbar, and we also have the one other under the control panel. From here we can close this window, and we can actually go to the Settings tab of the GPO that we just created, and we can also see all of the objects we created, in this case to strip out from the Start menu as a user logs in. Just to backtrack a little bit, in Active Directory prior to creating this group policy, there was a container created for test users, and it also contains 2 test users that we use for testing to log in to test the policies. This should have been created prior to the group policy, and you will need this test group with users in it to actually apply your group policy object to. So now we are ready to apply our group policy object to the container that has our users that we want affected, or to effectively have their start menus items removed. So we're going to go through the group policy management tool still. We're going to right click on the test users, and we're going to link an existing GPO. We'll select that. The one that we just created, removing start menu items, appears on the list. We will select that and select OK. We can now expand our test users container, and we see that we have a policy here that we applied to remove the start menu items. We can now right click on this, and we want to make sure that the link is not only enabled, but we want to make sure that it's enforced. After selecting enforce, we can then go to the settings. Okay, we now see that our object is linked. If we actually select our test users group again, and we look at the group policy inheritance, we can actually see that the first object that will be processed will be the default domain policy. The next thing that will be processed is removing the start menu items. So we're just about prepared to have a user log in, but we do have to select our object, and we have to apply the security filtering, which actually we can identify what users or groups that need to have this policy in effect. Okay, we'll now go back to our Active Directory, users and computers, and under our test container we have a test group called IGEL IGEL remove start menu items. If we click on this group and look at our members, you'll see that we actually have applied our two IGEL test users. Okay. So under security filtering, we want to add this group as the group that when the GPO processes and it sees this group, it will remove the start menu items for the users in that group. So we're going to choose to remove the authenticated users group, and we're going to add, go to advanced, and we'll select the IGEL remove start menu items group, select OK. We can now close all windows. We are now prepared to log on as a user to test the policy. After applying our GPO, here's our finished result, where a user is only presented with the log off and shutdown options. So we have successfully removed all of the icons and items out of the start menu.